What's up, y'all? I just wanted to tell y'all about the strategy that Adam Peters has put forth for the Commanders. Like, even though you think it may not be a strategy, it is. He's not wasting money. He's using a great strategy to allow us to have more money to use on what we may need in the future, right? For instance, he's locked down the linebacker position. Like, we have Jamin Davis. We have Frankie Louvu. We have Bobby Wagner in the middle of the defense, right? Think about how that middle of the defense is about to be locked down, right? And then we got none other than Jeremy Chin at the safety position. We got Jeremy Reeves back there as well if we need him. We got Quan Martin out there. So this defense is going to be solid, right? Because the defense may seem a little sketchy at the safety position and the cornerback position, but you got to think about it like this. We're providing enough competition at the cornerback position to where those guys are going to go out there and play their ass off. You see what I'm saying? And when I think of the cornerback position, I think about the Ravens. I think about how the Ravens went out, and last season they had so many people at the cornerback position. They had so many people getting injured and having to make changes and have people plug and play guys and people to go out there and just really just do what they can for the team and do their best. And it created a lot of competition to where you had people, no matter who was on the field, was doing their thing. You had Ronald Darby, Geno Stone, Cal Hamilton. I can't say that name to save my life, but I'm just thinking, like, bruh, so many people on their defensive backs. They had so many people out there that was just, no matter who got put in, when it came time for Marlon Humphreys to come back, he did his thing. Everybody was doing their thing. They had so much competition, and they made sure that whoever they got that go there, they understood their job. They understood the purpose. I gotta make sure I'm doing my best. I'm giving my all. And you see, they was a top defense last season. So that's one thing that I think he's doing. He's allowing us to not just do away with our first overall pick last season, Emmanuel Forbes. He's allowing him to grow. He's leaving space for him to be that guy if he is to be that guy. He's leaving space. He's not just pressuring him to sit on the bench another season. He's seeing if Emmanuel Forbes was a good pick. And, of course, his first season wasn't phenomenal, but he did go out there and do his thing. He got beat on a lot of plays, and he took a lot of risks. But that's something he can't do. Maybe this defense can set him up to be even better, right? Maybe this defense is what he needed. Maybe he needed to be in this defense from the beginning. You got Ken Norton Jr. back there. You got Dan Quinn, his mindset and how he's been a top defense for the Dallas Cowboys. He's going to want to come here and really lock in and change a lot of the trash we had last season on defense. And then you got none other than Joe Witt Jr., a guy that played with Dan Quinn. And then he's going to be taking all of Dan Quinn's advice. He's going to be taking whatever Dan Quinn says and using it to the best way he can. You know, this defense is going to be different. We're setting up something that is going to have a foundation, right? You got Bobby Wagner on the defense. You can't help but to be good. He's not going to allow, think about it. Bobby Wagner is in control of everything on defense. He's the quarterback on defense. If he say shift, your ass shift. So he's going to see things before it happens. And think about it. He's been in the league in the Pro Bowl constantly. Since he's hit the NFL, he's been there. He's been at the top. He's been doing his thing. You see what I'm saying? He's won a Super Bowl. He's accomplished things that most linebackers don't get a chance to do. And not only did he do these things, but he's getting old and he's still at the top of his game. Last season had 180 tackles and went to the Pro Bowl again. You see what I'm saying? So he has a lot to offer. It's not just about his accolades. It's about him as a person. Because these are leaders. You need leaders on the team to be great players. So he went out and got Frankie Louvu. Bobby Wagner seen who we had for our defense. He's seen who we had for our head coach. He said, yo, them my peoples, bruh. I'm coming in for Ken Norton too. I want to make a difference. I want to make y'all understand and see how this defense works. I want to help. I want to be that guy. So that's what he's coming to do. He's coming to help on defense. We got strong people on defense. We got smart people on defense. We got leaders on defense. And then once you have those leaders in your locker room, they can't help but to make other people better. Think about it. If we have Ray Lewis as our coach, right? What do you think that's going to do for the defense? So we have Bobby Wagner. What do you think that's going to do for the defense? So, and then to go to the offense, bro, we're building something that we're building something that we didn't have last season. Last season we had things that were not foundational. You know, we're building a foundation. Of course, we don't like Marcus Mariota, but we're going to have to learn to like him because he's here. We're paying him. But we don't want him to be the starter. We hope he's not the starter, but we just want him to focus and understand how to be a backup in this offense. We want him to be that guy. If he's ever called on, he has to be that guy. So they're just showing us what type of offense they want to build, what type of team they want to build. You just think about, we may not want the player that Marcus Mariota is, but the leader he is, we definitely want. We want a guy that comes here and try to build relationships as soon as he get here. He's trying to help everybody be better people in real life, not just football, because that's where it started in real life. And then you come and bring it to football. And then you bring it to, you understand that when your quarterback go down, y'all go down. Somebody push your quarterback down, everybody rally over there, and you make them pay for it. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you don't look weak. You see what I'm saying? There's a lot more to it. It really is. And I'm starting to realize this every day. It's a lot more to playing the backup position, being a quarterback. Even though we may think he's not the guy. You don't think Adam Peters might think he's the guy? You don't think Cliff Kingsbury might think he the guy? Dan Quinn? Anybody on that offense? Because we only see the outside. We don't see the inside. So he's probably been the top. Why you think he's been in the league this long? None other than, being a starter in Texans. For the Titans. But just being a backup, being called on to play for the Eagles last season, being called on before that to play for the Falcons, and being a starter. Why? Why is his name being called? It's a reason. It's the character traits. And then on top of that, he's willing to play. And it's a hard position to play. Everybody can't just wake up and say, I'm going to be a quarterback. You can't. You got to be tough-minded as well. Tough and strong on the field and make sound decisions. And even with making sound decisions, you still throw 21 interceptions to 21 touchdowns. And Adam Peters is doing great so far, and I can't do nothing but respect it because I can't control nothing. All I can do is put out my opinion. And my opinion is that we shouldn't have got rid of Sam Howell. We should have gave him another chance. But what he had worked in this system, what he had showed enough to make them feel like they should start him, or what he had just been a guy on the field, on the field, but on the bench, on the sideline. You know what I'm saying? What he had done. Does he show enough talent? Like, you know what's so crazy is that he doesn't even show enough talent to stay on the team, because if he did, they would have kept him. And then my whole thing is, think about Brock Purdy and how he went. He was the very last pick, right? And we can't even take a 5th round pick, right? So that's telling me, I'm talking about Sam Howell, but that's telling me like, dang, he's not even better than Brock Purdy. So that's saying a lot. So by us and his strategy was to get rid of Sam Howell. Sam Howell is not it. I think the Commanders just probably had to go with him because they didn't have a 2nd overall pick. You see what I'm saying? So last season may have been that season that they didn't have any opportunity to go up in the draft and get a nice quarterback, right? They didn't have that opportunity. Nobody probably was interested in what we had. And this season, you see, our best players went last season, Chase Young and Montez Sweat, and we got a 2nd and a 3rd. You see what I'm saying? We didn't have. Think about it. What on the Commanders team are you willing to give up a 1st round draft pick for? The only person is Terry, and we're not giving him up. But just think about that. Who would you give up? Right? So, if last season we could have got a 1st round pick where we could have got an early 1st round, we had nothing to give up. We didn't have anything to give up. And, of course, we could have used this year's 1st round draft pick. But, bruh, no. And we also wanted to see what was there for Sam Howell because he shocked us. And maybe Sam Howell just didn't have that. He didn't have it. And that's what probably Ron Rivera was just doing. They know they didn't have shit, so they had to use what they had and try to make people rally around them. And all of a sudden, we was trying to believe that Sam Howell was it, but that's all we had. That's all we had. So now that we have the opportunity to get a quarterback, we're getting a quarterback. And seeing that a new regime is here, new staff is here, and they want to look good, we're getting a quarterback. So we're not trading back. None of that. None of that. We're trading up or we're staying put. And the way things look for us, we don't have space to trade up. We don't have nothing to give up. If we give up Terry, for example, now who does Caleb Williams throw to? Now that we got Caleb Williams, we got the guy. Who do we throw to? See what I'm saying? So Adam Peters has a strategy, right? Go in, clean out the old roster, create a new one, bring in some veterans. What people do when your team is rebuilding, you get veterans. You look at who can create competition, who can fire up these guys to really want to go out there every day and get it, you know what I'm saying, and play for what they want. And we gave Sam Howell the opportunity to start fresh. Geno Smith is who they got right there. And then you got Sam Howell right under that, right? So when they get tired of Geno, they go to Sam. Or they get somebody in the draft, not sure who they got an opportunity to get, but they get him. And then now that you got 3 quarterbacks. And then you get rid of Geno whenever you feel like it. So that provides another opportunity for Sam Howell. If he still is the guy, he can work his way back up. Excuse me. But like I said, Adam Peters has a beautiful strategy. We just got to kind of step back and allow him to work. He's coming here to recreate and fire up a beautiful team. He's trying to create something from the ground up. He's building a foundation, and the foundation is with veterans. With veterans, and then people who haven't got an opportunity. And I'm sure he reached out to Dan Quinn and said, Dan Quinn, who you feel like on your last team could have got a better shot? Should have had an opportunity. Should have had more of an opportunity. Dorrance Armstrong. You know what I'm saying? That's a great person to talk about. That's a great example of an underdog, somebody who ain't got a chance to really start a whole season yet. And then we go out and get people like Noah Igbenogany, first round draft pick, who has been in the league for 4 years and never got a chance to start. Crazy. Terrible. Right? But that's one of those things where I'm talking about not just start, I'm talking about start a full season. But that's just one of those things that we have to step back and realize, like, hold up, we don't got control over nothing. And we really need to just accept what he's bringing to the team, because we have guys that we never thought would be here in years. Austin Eckler. And of course, at the time, I didn't feel like that was a great move, seeing as though we had the same thing in what is his name? Look, he gone now. I forgot his name. Antonio Gibson. I felt like we had the exact same thing. But when you get a new team, you want to start with fresh people. Of course, with somebody who's been here for a while and fumbled a lot in some cases. But, I mean, it's kind of similar to Austin Eckler. But when you think about Austin Eckler's workload, it's been a lot. So they might seem close in fumbles, but his production-wise is way different. And his age is one of those things I just felt like we should have just stayed with Antonio Gibson for, because he's 3 years younger than Austin Eckler. But now that we don't have him, all we can do is move forward. So we still got gunners on offense like Antonio Gibson. And then he's being put together with Austin Eckler. And it's just think about how they're going to be incredible this year. And then on top of that, we got solid people in certain positions. We got a nice guy on our offensive line. We got a nice wide receiver, Terry McLaurin. You got to have those nice people. You got to have those nice players. You can't just get rid of everybody. And that's his strategy. Can't get rid of everybody. Got to keep the people that fire up the fans, fire up the people, really work the offense through. So you're telling me if we get rid of Terry, who do we work our offense through? Because we're already giving enough to Antonio Gibson. So now we have 2 checkdowns. We got people that have a lot of energy, like Austin Eckler and Antonio Gibson. Then you got Terry McLaurin on offense. And now who are we going to have as our quarterback? And then we also got Zach Ertz, right? He's old, but he's experienced. He knows how to get things done. He's got a Super Bowl under his belt, so he knows what it takes. So as a team that's rebuilding, I don't see Super Bowl in our future right now, but I do see a team that wants to keep fighting. Because you can't just say, F it, we just going to get rid of everybody and start fresh. It don't work that way. It don't always work that way. And sometimes you start like that, and now it's taking you years on years on years to get back to a competitive team standpoint. So we're not trying to fall too low. We're trying to stay steady, and then just see what we can do to get a little bit better. So last season we might have been an E, right? Now we a C minus. You see what I'm saying? So we're just getting up there to where we can make it to that wild card. You see what I'm saying? So his strategy is perfect. We just got to accept it for what it is. And I think the best thing for us to do right now, I'm not sure if this is in his strategy or his plan, but to stay put and get who we can get. Because I understand Cliff Kingsbury might want Caleb Williams. He might want him. And Caleb is definitely phenomenal. That man can throw with both hands. He can make all the throws that you want. He understands what people are saying about him. He understands what he needs to improve on. And that's what you want out of a player. And you also want a person who does not act Hollywood. And I think the media is trying to make him into a person that we don't like. But honestly, He's a guy that's just playing the game, bro, and it's a lot to take in, especially when you're the first overall pick and everything and everybody is looking at you. So he has a great opportunity to make it on a great team. And whether that be the Bears or the Commanders, it just is what it is. And I see that people like Robert Griffin III is telling him, pull a Eli Manning and say, I'm not going to y'all. I want to trade, so make sure I go to the Commanders. Man, the way I feel in life, like, you never know what's going to happen for you. Sometimes you just got to let it be. You try to make changes and you go to a different, like, you ever leave a job and then you go to another job and it's even worse than the last one because you wanted to force your way out of there. You wanted to make things happen. And sometimes you just got to wait for it to happen and just see what happens instead of just trying to create change. And of course, Eli Manning did it, but everybody ain't Eli, and everybody don't have the same situations. Eli Manning played on that team for a long time, and he got 2 Super Bowls. Congrats to him. But that's not everybody. Everybody is not an Eli Manning, and you don't know what the future holds for you. Shoot, who knows what's going to happen tomorrow? So tomorrow we can hear the Commanders traded up and gave up Jonathan Allen and 2 first-round draft picks for the next few years. We don't know what's going to happen. So the best thing we can do is sit back, relax, and y'all let me know how y'all feel about this situation. And I'm out.